Hello, everyone. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Hi, Ernesto. I'm fantastic. Looking good after yesterday. We're wearing our suits and making a special effort for the show. It seems like we've really just scruffed it up today. But that's okay. It's all chilled out. Everyone's stuck indoors. And if we were wearing our suit every single day, that would be a bit weird.
And it's a Sunday for us, which, of course, for you, it will be the first day of the week. But yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely, it's great. It's great to be here. I was very excited about yesterday's show to see all these stars just showing up there for us, and giving us compliments from the show. And it's been a beautiful experience. I tell you, really touched my heart. So I thank you for being there, because it was just amazing.
And thank you as well for giving me the opportunity to work on this project. I think it makes a real difference. We've known each other for 20, 25 years, and the chance to work with somebody who you're so close to, and we didn't get a chance to do a podcast years ago, but now with an opportunity to do this TV show, really does make it all come full circle. And it's a real pleasure, and we have such a laugh creating it, and it quite clearly resonates with other people. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had the caliber, of the guests that we came through with yesterday. People who are like top internet marketers, top influencers, some TV stars, and a lot of top sales trainers, and just literally thought leaders left, right, and center. Very exciting program.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where we are in the food chain. If the idea is to help and to be kind, doesn't matter. I mean, everybody resonates. Everybody that needs to resonates with that, and the other ones just fall off the cliff. I mean, and that's fine. That's one of the things that I found really as the gift. I have figured out which people are amazing, and I really want to connect with them, and it has really brought me closer to them. And some people that, I'm just going to brush off as soon as possible, because these people they are absolutely not in my wavelength.
And it's incredible to how many people on your radar check in on you to make sure you're okay during the lockdown. As far as I'm concerned, if those people haven't checked in on you when you're going through this, when are they ever going to do it? So it's a bit of a sobering thought. But I know everyone's going through their own struggle. A lot of people have issues that may come back to haunt them later on, from being locked in alone, or maybe even worse, being locked in with your partner if you don't get on very well. So what I wanted to do with today's show is, it's very low key, and we're not actually going to be doing any news. What we're going to do instead is going through the long list of questions. And I've had tons of people turn around to me. I've got a long list here, and send through questions about how they feel about what we're doing, and also what we feel. So I thought it was easy to do. Today we'd spend all our time going through the Q&A and making sure that we answer all the questions. So if you're ready to do that, Ernesto, shall we get stuck into it?
Absolutely, let's do it. And once again, we are going to be answering as many questions as possible. If we don't manage to answer your questions on this show, make sure to type them down here if you're watching it live, or send us a message in ernesto.today. There you will find my WhatsApp or my Messenger, whatever it is, or thedavecrane.com, and you can send us more questions. So let's get started. We have questions. I send you some questions. You have some questions. So you're gonna get started with the questions, Dave. You have them written down there. So let's just get started.
And what we'll have to do after the end of this question is I have to mention, of course, about the digital gift card, business card for everybody, because it is gift week. But let's get into the questions first. Well, this actually comes from my neck of the woods, John from Dubai. And he's asking the question, when do we think, from our experience of keeping an eye on the news, this lockdown will come to an end? I'll throw that at you first, Ernesto. What do you think?
Well, as I was showing in the clip yesterday, 76 days in Wuhan. Right now we are getting close to day 40. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be at the end of May. That's my guesstimation. I mean, I think that by the end of May, beginning of June, we're going to start already seeing things a lot clearer. How about you?
I agree with you. And there's an interesting survey that was done about how many Americans wanted to go back to work to save the economy. Just go back and say, you know what, let's just start work because it's more important to have money coming in than it is to stay safe. And 10% of Americans said that they would go back to work regardless, and they just wanted to make it all start happening. And the other percentage were saying, I'm not leaving, I'm not going anywhere until I feel it's safe. But one of the things that really shocked me was watching a piece on CNN, I think it was, about the difference between Singapore and Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong went through it's slightly bigger than Singapore. I mean, Singapore's a tiny country, but Hong Kong has got about half of the infections of Singapore. And Singapore's gone for a very strange but very effective lockdown where we just said, right, okay, here's the deal. We'll just keep distance from everybody, and we'll keep ourselves to ourselves, and let's just trust people to be okay with it. And so they're back up in business. Well, that's now gone to lockdown. Instead, what Hong Kong did was they said, right, we're going to go straight away into lockdown. We might release people earlier. But the big difference was Hong Kong already experienced what it was like when they went through SARS and MERS. And so everybody's used to going into social distancing. They're all used to having masks and wearing them socially. So when Tony says, turn around and says, right, put your masks on, it's not a big surprise. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen to us for future pandemics. Hopefully we'll never see one again, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do reoccur. So I think, go on.
No, there you go. Those are our answers.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we're going to just watch this space. Plus also, there's different parts of the world, so there's no simple answer for it. Okay, next question got, do you want to ask this one or shall I, Ernesto?
Go for it, because I have them here on my phone, right. And yeah, I'll just need to look for it. So anyway, you tell me and I'll check for the other questions.
Okay, I'll be mother because I like doing it. It makes me feel in charge for a while. I've been empowered. Okay, so Katrina from Belgium. Hello, Katrina. Thanks for watching the show. She says, how long do you guys spend making this show? How long does it take to make a 45-minute show every single day? Well, you can answer that better than me, Ernesto.
Okay, do you want the truth or do you want the illusion of the truth? I'm going to tell you exactly as it is. We want to make it as seamless as possible. We have limited resources here on the. I mean, we would love to have great mixers and $40,000 tables so that we will be able to do all those things. But we're doing actually everything out of our computer, and I think all in all, it is about pre-production. It is about 3 hours, and then post-production is about 2 hours. So I think 5 hours altogether, and that is just basically taking away the time of finding all the content. But for that, I'm very lucky because my kids, Nina, my daughter, and Vincent, and my wife are actually helping me get some of this content. Plus, of course, I mean, Dave is also on the other side finding more content and getting everything. How about you, Dave?
Yeah, it's about the same. I don't spend quite so long doing the show because the show is actually driven by you in Houston. I'm just a guest contributor in many ways. So you've got the heavy lifting of driving everything from your laptop. But what I end up doing is I do a lot of stuff on social media afterwards as well. And like yourself, we're chasing up people looking for content. So I maybe don't have so much of a pre-production of setting stuff in the computer. But like, for instance, when we put together the big show yesterday, and we were going live with so many big stars. Well, it took me a good 2 to 3 hours to put together the content that we needed for the intro, which you saw at the beginning of this show. And literally from breakfast all the way through, I'm ready. So it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock when we start. I started yesterday at 7 o'clock when we were chatting before you went to bed. So that's a good, 10 hours worth of chasing stuff. And yesterday was cleaning the house day. So that was even harder to do that at the same time as juggling. So it really depends, but it's a lot of time.
Yeah, but you know what? I think more than anything, I think the discipline of actually having this done for 30 days has been a tremendously growing experience because we have learned a lot, first of all, about show business, not the fact of, we have been really trying to provide incredible content. We're just not, okay, well, I'm going to show you a PowerPoint presentation in Zoom. We have really given some thought about this, and this has given us what we think is going to be the prequel of how the training environments are going to be working. Right now, we have the know-how, we have the possibilities of actually going and producing full training experiences for companies so that they can see exactly what, like if they will be on a real training. And for me, that's a big win from this. So it's been a fantastic experience.
Absolutely. I've watched a lot of webinars over the last couple of weeks that are so poor. And they make me think, well, are those guys actually like that on stage? Or are we just unfortunate enough to be stuck on the other side of a laptop from the dirge that is sharing with us right now? So yes, I feel for you completely with that.
Yeah, it makes me laugh because, I mean, first of all, you start thinking, well, it's cute. It looks like the beginning of the Brady Bunch when you see all the little faces appearing there in Zoom. But then what happens is that people forget that they are in camera. And I have seen people picking their noses, scratching their balls, doing all sorts of horrendous things without realizing that is what is happening there. Plus, of course, you have the bombers and the Zoom bombers and all these things that can go wrong. But with what we are doing, we're in complete control. We can provide incredible experiences, and the only way that we would have been able to learn how to do what we are doing is because, of course, of this show. So it has been, I think, a tremendous payoff.
Very true. All right. Kamal from Pakistan asks us, what are your plans when this is finally over and we escape the lockdown and go out into the big wide world? What do you plan to do, Ernesto?
First of all, thank you, Kamal, for your question. Well, first of all, what I think I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start already contacting. I mean, not from when this happens, but I am already starting to get in touch with everybody that previously they were saying, well, I knew exactly what my branding is. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly. Right now, people need to be rebranded. So for me, I think it's a bit of a blessing in disguise because I can now help people rebrand themselves using the I'm here to help approach. I am the one that can help you get from A to B. Not look at me how incredible I am. Look at how fantastic my knowledge is. Look at how beautiful I am. Me. And that for me is a great thing. So I'm going to already start working on my own rebranding, but also I'm going to start making sure that I help other people brand themselves. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, we both do very similar but very different things. I mean, you're really into marketing and you're really into getting people gigs. I'm really into teaching them the stagecraft and speaking skills, and also speaking a lot myself as well. My aim is to do, I mean, I'm already doing them now, to connect with more companies who've got remote teams and translating what I would do normally on a big stage in front of a company or in front of an event to doing that online. It's very exciting. It's got a lot of preparation that goes into doing it. So we just don't end up with some kind of PowerPoint presentation that people have to listen to, like some boring radio show. It's going to be something very different. So I think that when it's all over, I think that it's going to be a lot longer before the gigs come back, the same as in the travel industry and hospitality. And so whatever you produce right now is going to be the way that it's running for the next 12 months. So you really have to throw yourself at it. And it's a case of the hare and the tortoise. I think we have to start moving and just keep moving. And so it doesn't matter what happens on the outside. I mean, we're heading into a lot of tough times. If you've got your act together and you've already got this online digital playground that you've created with relationships and connections, then I think you're in a much better position. So I'm happy to continue doing this. And seeing my family all the time, and maybe a little bit of travel when we're allowed to get back on planes again.
That is right. Hey, by the way, it is gift week, and we want to, first of all, we would like to share some more of the reports from our amazing correspondents and amazing friends around the world. So we have 3 great live correspondents. Have a look.
Hi, Dave and Ernesto. It's Monique Russell reporting live from Atlanta, Georgia. This gift has given me time to focus. It's given me a gift of hyper focus on things that matter to me and spending time with those that I love. And that's all for me. Back to you guys in the studio.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ernesto. This is Phil Hughes calling in from a new village in southern Poland today, just to talk about the gift that the lockdown has given to me personally. And for me, it's community, the community spirit, seeing community come together. Online communities, we're interacting more, but the village community as well. And for me, what's important has been the growth of empathy in this time. How important listening skills have become to everybody. Surrounding yourselves with trusted advisors has become really important at a local decision-making level, and let's face it, probably at governmental level hasn't been going too well for some people. But anyway, for me, the gift of community, gift of empathy, the difference between telling somebody that they must go and try this new coffee shop, darling, to, hey, I noticed you were in the garden, I'm going to the shop, do you need anything? So for me, thank goodness, I'm living in a community. And my girlfriend that was up behind me, the stalk, she's just popped off to see her mate over there. So they're going to probably be doing a bit of adding to their community. Back to the studio. You keep safe, everyone.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Ernesto. Mitchell Levy, global credibility expert from the heart of Silicon Valley. And this is the Silicon Valley garage. I've been working out of my garage since 1997. So this is fairly normal for me. For most of the world, that for the first time is being put under house arrest, this is crazy. And I've had so many conversations where people were going this direction that they now say to themselves, let me go over here. Or they're going this direction and they're making a slight tweak. This is the right time to shore up your resources. Make sure you look credible. Update your social media. Update your LinkedIn. Update your website. Make sure you can figure out what stuff you love doing and do that going forward, because you'll be happier and those around you will be happier. When we get out of this, many more people will be doing business with heart. It'll be a much different scenario. It's going to happen. It's going to change over time, but it is really powerful transformation that's happening. Until then, be safe, be well. Back to the studios.
Very cool. Thank you, guys.
We're so blessed to have such great friends around the world, Ernesto. Sometimes I look in their houses or their gardens, and I think, I want to live in their house. It's so good. They've got so much space. But maybe most of the time I'm just happy with what I've got, so I shouldn't really say that. Right, so I think we should take another question. And just before we do that, remember we can say to people about our digital gift. If you would like to get a free digital gift, this is gift week, by the way, so all week you get a chance to do it, your own digital business card, then we're going to share with you a slide that you'll be able to see everything on. And also you get a free copy of my NLP audio, The Chair, which is to help you get closure if you've lost someone recently, especially with the horrible experience and tragedy of the coronavirus pandemic.
Right, so you're right now seeing there on screen. Please make sure to go to the two different URLs. Remember, this is a complete gift. There is no cost for it. We will do your digital business card. And why are we doing a digital business card? Because we were thinking, well, what shall we do? Shall we do a course or shall we do a recording? I mean, we have been providing so much content so far. We thought that it will be something that will be very useful for you, because right now you're not going to be exchanging cards. And even afterwards, you're going to be actually being afraid of actually receiving a business card because, oh my goodness, I hope it doesn't have the coronavirus.
You won't be shaking hands. You won't be hugging people. You'll be saying, I love you from the other side of the street. I don't even think people are going to do the elbow thing. I think people are just going to wave and do that kind of Star Trek sign and say, hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. And you're going to look at people like you're just about to punch them in the face, which is going to be kind of scary, but there you go. Okay, another question then. Do you want to, this one's from Tarun from Mumbai. Do you want to ask it?
Oh, you have Mumbai, Tarun from Mumbai. Okay, he says, what made you choose to go live on Facebook and no other platform? That's a great question, Tarun. It was actually a big decision. First of all, we said, well, are we going to do Zoom? And I said, I literally hate Zoom. I really don't like Zoom. I will not do a training. I will not do a webinar. I find it horrendous. So Zoom is out of the way. Then I said, well, what about if we do YouTube? And one of the reasons why I didn't really want to do YouTube is because, first of all, you have no audience. I mean, you're going to start doing it, but it's very difficult to figure out how people are going to actually be joining your live version. So we also thought, well, let's try to see if we transmit directly into LinkedIn, which it's difficult to find the software that is going to be helping you with that. So the one that was the most friendly, and of course it is a community that already existed, was Facebook. So great question, Tarun. That was a tough decision, and at the end, I think every platform has a good side of it, but at the end we decided to actually do it with Facebook Live because it gives you an instant audience without you realizing. I mean, I have close to 5,000 friends, 4,500 people also following me, so that makes it about 10,000 people. Plus, of course, Dave also has a ton of people there, so it's a lot easier because we have an instant audience from day one.
Actually, to be honest with you, Ernesto, when it comes to Facebook's limited audience of 5,000, do you remember when we reached 5,000 within about a week of each other? And that was within about a year of Facebook going live.
Yeah.
And we just connected and we added and we had a ton of people and thought 5,000. And we're stuck with the same 5,000 now. Same people. I don't even know if I talked to half of them, but they're there, 5,000 people. But we did that dead early, didn't we? I mean, it didn't take long for us to get it. That must have been about 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
To pack it out.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Facebook is a weird platform. I mean, my daughter tells me, "Oh my goodness, you're a boomer." And I said, "No, Nina, I am not a boomer. I am a Gen X." But yeah, she makes me feel that I am old because of actually using Facebook. I mean, right now, Facebook is, even though that it's still strong, yeah, I mean, I can understand Instagram and other things. But in reality, the live version goes into Facebook, but the recorded version goes into YouTube, goes into Instagram, goes into LinkedIn, goes into Vimeo, goes into all sorts of different platforms. Plus, of course, we have the, how is it called? Podcast.
Yep.
Great question. So let's go with Annabelle from Croatia. Annabelle, Ernesto, how do you deal with Dave when he is rude to you?
Wow, your fan club's really kicking him at that. It sounds like I've been beating you up. That's not true. So how do you deal with me being rude? Because I am rude quite a lot, actually.
No, I don't think he's rude. And I mean, I know him so well. And we all the time have a good time. We have a good time with each other. We always know that we are just pulling each other's legs. And it's always great fun to be doing this together. So, but anyway, that's a funny.
To put it in perspective, Annabelle, right? Here's the thing. Ernesto and I have worked together for many, many years, and we've been on stage in front of thousands of people together, and we get on so well. There's been times that we walked on stage, looked at each other, started laughing, and being unable to speak, and the whole audience is staring at us, going, "What are they laughing at?" And we can't speak because it's just so funny. So it's almost like you've got people in your living room waiting for you to do something and you're just not ready for them. So we have to calm down, snap out of it and get back into it. And that's like going over 20 years. It's still the same now. We laugh at the most ridiculous stuff and in-jokes and so on, but we share them with people at the same time. If we didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't do it. And that's one of the reasons when we're doing a show like this, it's just a joy because we get to spend quality time with each other and we still laugh our heads off even if we don't share it with everybody sometimes.
Sometimes we have to be a bit careful because, I mean, people do not really understand what is our sense of humor. And it has happened a few times that, unknowingly or unwillingly we offend people.
Hey, that's showbiz. You can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs. Okay, we've got time for a couple more questions and then we'll call it a day for this episode. We've got Nijaz from Oman who asks, he says, "You guys are great. I'm really enjoying the show, but what makes a good presenter on stage and what can make a good presenter online, and can everybody do both?" It's a good question. There's a lot of people who do radio and do TV and a lot of people do live and they're disastrous when you give them a different platform, especially musicians. It's like saying pop stars make great actors, but when you put one in a movie, oh my goodness, there's very, very few have been able to cross that barrier and be able to do both. So what do you think, Ernesto? Because you spend a lot of time marketing people. What would you say?
Well, I been doing webinars and I've been doing presentations all over the place, and I understand exactly what it is to be without an audience. And I mean, I know how to keep the pace up. You have to do things differently in whenever you're presenting live and whenever you're presenting on a real stage. And I think that this is for us, for example, a big opportunity, because I believe that there's a lot of speakers, trainers, experts, people that want to sell stuff online that possibly might be very good on the stage, but they absolutely suck at presenting without an audience. So yeah, I mean, what will make you good? Well, first of all, you need to have empathy. That's the first thing. If people are not seeing you and you are just talking like this, and that's just going to be horrendous anywhere you go. So you need to treat this, and that's my best tip that I can give you. And that's one of the things that Dave and I are all the time so incredible. That's for me the most stressful part of the show. Because we say, imagine that we're actually paying for the airtime. I mean, of course, we're doing it for free, but let's say that we would be transmitting this on CBS, on ABC, or Sky, or whatever channel and they're charging us by the minute. So we are trying to provide as much value and as much information as we can in the funnest possible way, so that first of all, our show doesn't get cancelled, and second, people really like what we are doing and we get good ratings. So that's how you have to see it. I mean, if you're going to be transmitting on a webinar environment or a digital environment, that's the way that you have to think.
I agree with you completely. There's a lot of people who can't go across different platforms. I've worked in radio for many years, and many of the presenters who were like seen as superstars on the radio, you get them in front of a live audience and you watch the audience's faces just drop when they see what these people look like in real life, and they realize that they're great on a one-to-one basis when you're driving a car, but in front of an audience, they're just fussing about, or they haven't got a stage presence. And you see the organizers of the event just go, I can't believe I paid for that. But that's just the way it is. One of the good things that happened to me from a very early age, I was on stages, so it allowed me to understand who's that person. When I studied radio and radio journalism, I studied it in Cornwall, in the southwest of England, and we were taught to look out for Mrs. McGinty. Now, Mrs. McGinty was a little old lady sitting at home.
Lost you. Well, it seems that we lost Dave with Mrs. McGinty. I think Dave went actually with Mrs. McGinty. Anyway, I mean, we will continue answering some of your questions. I have a very nice video that I want to end this presentation for, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Ground control to Captain Tom. Ground control to Captain Tom. Go and get your walker and put your medals on. Ground control to Captain Tom. Commencing start of walkathon. Check just giving and may God's luck be with you. This is ground control to Captain Tom. You've really made the grade, and the media wants to know how far you go. And do you realize that you're our hero? This is Captain Tom to ground control. I'm stepping out once more, and they're giving in the most peculiar way. it's going up by several million every day. For here am I, almost at 100, far beyond my dreams. NHS is blue, and there's so much more to do. Captain Tom Moore, a 99-year-old veteran of the Second World War, initially set out to raise £1,000 by challenging himself to walk 100 times around his garden before his 100th birthday. He's now become the single biggest fundraiser in the history of just giving. Though we have passed £12 million, I'm sure the name Captain Tom Moore will be on everybody's lips forevermore, and a knighthood will be on its way for sure. Ground control to Captain Tom, you can just go on and on. Can you hear me, Captain Tom? Can you hear me, Captain Tom? Can you hear me, Captain Tom? Can you hear? We are all in this together, but you stood above them all. NHS is blue, and there's so much more to do. Sir Captain Tom Moore, we salute you.
See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.